Even with this Mirana Sand King opening, it's a very strong opening. We've seen it before. The Burrow Strike and Thearo, quite detrimental to this Luna if you do get caught out. Now, mind you, this isn't In Your Dream Luna, one of his favorites. We've seen the man on this hero many, many times, and he always tends to perform, so I suppose that's even scarier, the side of AG. But Army Geniuses, maybe taking a bit of a leaf out of the Motivate Trust book, do take the Phoenix picker.
And the sustain is always good to have. The team fight it provides, tying up with the Sand King stuns, it's fantastic. So you've got a lot piling on now for AG in terms of team fights and sustain. Galaxy Racer can kind of clear out the egg. Dragonite and Dragon Form does get a decent enough range to just hit away without having to worry about Fire Spirits. Luna as well can kind of focus in on the egg, especially if you have a Mask of Madness, which we have seen IYD dip towards. We'll see what the item buildup will be if they're worried about the Phoenix at all. GXR do go into the Tusk, so they've got this great saving support in terms of snowball saves, especially once the blink is up. It can be aggressive as well. It can set up for the DK to run up and get the Dragon Tail stun in that dual offlane if you run the DK Tusk, assuming it's an offlane DK here for Mizu. You can kind of play aggressive and put pressure onto AG on their safe lane. So they've got a great solution as well on hand here. Probably not as run and gun as the Sand King Mirana, but still a scary duo to come up against for Army Geniuses. We'll have to see what sort of win condition they give for a DB as well in the safe lane. Like, they don't have the option for the Luna, which has worked out. They still have the option for Dusa. Instead, they go for the Wraith King. So building up on these tanky frontline cores that can just run up, take these fights early. The Skeletons kind of provide a good counterpoint to the Luna, which we kind of saw with the PL. And you can cop some of the Eclipse hits, you can cop some of the Glaives. It doesn't necessarily bounce to the rest of the team. So you can kind of spread the damage around a lot nicer with the Wraith King, and it does have some early spikes. In terms of farm war against a Luna, Wraith King can sort of keep up in the jungle. It's not as quick, but it's not terrible as well with those Skeletons. You can kind of just work towards that Radiance and start showing up in fights, or just keep the farm up and wait for another item up before committing to these engagements on GXR's end.
Yeah, absolutely. GXR, fourth pick for them, still another support to pick up if they want to. Now, they also seem to require either the mid lane or the off lane pickup. Just depends on whether they want to throw the DK, but in all fairness, we do usually see DK off lane these days. We really haven't seen much of the mid DK whatsoever. I suppose that just kind of goes back to it not really being necessary, quite frankly. Galaxy Racer, they'll have a think about it. See what kind of path they want to go down here with this fourth pick. 30 seconds reserve time left, though. They might have to make it soon. Maybe the Wraith King maybe put a bit of a spanner in the works for them. Perhaps just not expected here from AG. Go for the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's a solid mid laner to have here for Alacrity. I guess you could flex it as support if you want to on GXR's end. I don't think they have any real need to. But they don't know the mid matchup. So it looks like they're just pocketing their support pick last. Their pause 5. I think they might actually flex. Like, hold off on the Alacrity matchup. They don't have last pick overall, so they will have to show their hand first. And in classic fashion, when you're up against Army Geniuses, you have to ban out the Husker. You have to ban out some of these cheese picks, as AG does. They're the kind of team to pull those off from the back pocket. So just kind of prevent them from getting that cheese up and running. Of course, they're protecting their Wraith King now, banning out the Lion. Good hold for Phoenix when he's diving through, for the Sand King Mirana. Drain the Wraith King's mana. Will force him to get Ag Shard when probably he could actually opt not to against this lineup. So again, just making sure their win conditions held in place. And we'll have to see how GXR flex. Like, they're just banning supports in AG's end. They seem to assume that the Void Spirit will be Alacrity's hero.
It's hard to tell, though. Like, it is one of those things. You can run the Pulse 4 Void Spirit, no issue. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for GXR, but you never know. It just depends on how they're feeling. 22 seconds reserve time left. It looks like they are probably going to dive into it for this final pickup. Overall, their draft does look very stable. And they are going to go for a Wyvern, so it is going to be the mid Void Spirit. That is a very strong pos 5 to end with. It's surprising that teams even leave the Wyvern in the pool these days. Like, to make it all the way to the last pick And AG, they're going to go for the Darkseer, which it is a nice way of kind of dealing with the Wyvern in some sense, because you get those couple of Iron Shells out. The Cold Embrace doesn't really do as much, but what is it, John?
Mamang Daya Darkseer again. They've done this before.
Oh, it's the mid-Darkseer.
Oh my god. Mamang Daya, this guy, man. This guy.
Out. It worked out last time.
Yeah, he just pulls off these wacky mids. His Kunkka is amazing. He just plays such different mids compared to your traditional mid laner.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he just pulls them out. Darkseer, I remember it was him that also kind of brought out the mid bristleback, at least here in C. Maybe seeing it elsewhere, but he really managed to use it effectively, especially against tiny matchups. This worked out really well the last time we saw AG pull it off, so we've got to see if Mamang Daya can hit those spikes. Against a Void Spirit, he's not going to block the Iron Shells. Resonant Pulse does nothing against that, so you can just keep shoving out the wave, keep getting your farm up, keep building up, rush the items, and just run them down at some point.
It's hard to know if you can doubt the mid Darkseer. Like, it makes enough sense when you think about it, because it does. The hero just wants levels and gold, like, just really quickly. You just want that Aghanim Scepter. You want the levels so you can get the talents up, because all the talents are kind of busted when it comes to Darkseer. Just buffing up that Iron Shell damage and the AoE and everything like that. John, give me the answer to the hard question. Who came out with the better draft in Game 1?
I'm going to lean towards Army Geniuses. I like the mid Darkseer. I think Mamang Daya always surprises us when he runs something like this mid. They've got great team fight on AG's end. For GXR's part, I mean, they have this win condition in your dream. They just have to buy that space out and kind of hold against the tide that AG is going to be pushing out here.
Okay, we'll head into it. Game number 1, Army Geniuses against Galaxy Racer Esports. Let's see how this works out. I mean, I do tend to try not to doubt Mamang Daya here on this Darkseer. The thing is, though, when you look at GXR's draft and the way GXR's been playing, it is very, very, very clean gameplay and drafting from GXR as of late.
Yeah, they just...
What are they saying, John? What is this?
No, they were throwing out the Atomic War references again, I think. Because AG, we had a chat about this with AG last time. They tend to just play Atomic War to relax before a match. They did smoke up, but Mizu just breaks it.
Yeah, he's going to be careful. For him, though. Mizu, he's going to back off at the right time. Davion's all right. Nobody panic. You know, John, I still haven't even played Atomic War. I have no idea what the game's about. I haven't played one game
Really?
yet. I legitimately not played one game. I keep getting told about it. I've been meaning to try it. I just haven't had the opportunity to try it yet.
Yeah, it's an interesting take on auto chest, I guess. It's kind of like that. It's fun. You should try playing with Neff. I think I was playing with Neff and Nino, and it's kind of fun with them malting around, just talking crash. It's pretty fun, yeah.
Right.
It's all right.
Paulison, Great Fire Blast out. They've got the arrow to follow up. They've got a Burrow Strike, and that'll be First Blood. Army Genius is a great start. They'll even give the First Blood gold over to DB.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start. They're leveraging those early stuns in that clump up. You know, you've basically got almost a stun on 3 heroes each, on each 3 heroes at least. So you can kind of just hammer in. You get that good start in Raid King, run back into lane. Watching mid right now, Mamang Daya, that Darkseer, Alacrity. It's still a level 1 Iron Shell, so it doesn't feel as bad. But once the levels ramp up, level 3 on the Darkseer with level 2 Iron Shell, that's where it gets pretty awkward for Alacrity. Like, again, Resonant Pulse is not going to block that damage. Mamang Daya can just keep shoving Creep Wave all the way back, and Alacrity is going to have to work for every single CS.
Yeah, I mean, these Iron Shells, I've been playing quite a bit of Darkseer myself. Especially when you get that level 15 talent up. No, excuse me, not the level 15, the level 20 talent. Like, plus 60 damage on top. You're doing 150 damage per second with the Aghanim Scepter up. You get a couple charges, a bit of bonus HP. It's a ridiculous hero right now is what I'm trying to say. And you kind of underestimate. You really underestimate how much damage these Iron Shells do throughout a team fight. And then the Vac Wall, it's too much. This hero is getting a guaranteed nerf in the next patch. I know the Darkseer players are going to cry again. Like, not again. How are they going to nerf Vacuum? No, Darkseer's getting nerfed. That's it. Too bad. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Definitely is. I see Vacuum getting an additional decimal point on the cooldown. So from 60.0 to 60.00. That sounds like a fairly Valve-like nerf, fairly
Yeah.
Ice Frog-like nerf. But we'll see. Alacrity again. Just gonna have to hold the storm here. Try to get as much farm as possible. Clear the creep wave with a Resonant Pulse and play it safe. Do have the chance to look at the other lanes. Up top, Wami and LYM on Mirana and Sand King. Very straightforward lane. Just keep shoving out the waves early on. Get the Sacred Arrow off. Paulson can't really zone out well. And you do have decent rundown potential with Tusk Luna. It's just that you can't run the risk of just getting chain stunned in the middle of that engagement. So he's playing really safe, just trying to spot out the pulse and get as much as he can in your dream. Still finding CS here, 6-1. So it's not all too bad. But once the levels pump up for the Sand King, that's when you start to get a bit worried. Luna's not a very long-range hero.
Certainly not. Definitely a lot of concern here for In Your Dream if they do land that Burrow Strike into the tag team. Or rather, excuse me, the Burrow Strike into the arrow. But it could also kind of go the other way. Probably not, though. I'd say AG should have a pretty decent advantage. Bot lane, you've got Mizu on the DK with Jokam on the Winter Wyvern. I'd argue this is probably going to be the most boring lane again, the bot lane. You're going to have DB and UK there as well on the Phoenix Wraith King. I don't see kills happening here unless somebody messes up.
Yeah, it's super passive. Your DK combination with Winter Wyvern, it's not particularly amazing. Like, you can still harass out with Dragon Tail and then getting the Splinter Blast off, maybe some hits on the Arctic Burn. It's not like a Mirana, it's not like a Lion combination with DK. So the kill threat, especially on something tanky like the Wraith King, not going to be there. And DB is already working the static lane quite nicely up in the CS. And Mizu not opting for Breed Fire means there's no threat of slowing down DB's farm, so he's just perfectly fine here.
A bit of a cheeky harass there onto Jokam. Taking advantage of the skeletons that flew out as well, just getting that extra bit of damage, but he will be able to salve up on the Wyvern and just fine. Alacrity going to go back for the bounty rune as well. All things being said and done, John, as an annoying lane as it is for Alacrity against the Darkseer, he is top of the CS board. So he seems completely unaffected by Mamang Dire's Darkseer so far.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see here for GXR. You don't want that Void Spirit falling too far behind. We've seen Void Spirit struggle to hit that first item, and then it just doesn't feel amazing without the setup on the Euls, without the items, without the stats to play around with. So as long as you're finding farm elsewhere, you're getting the CS under tower, you're fine. You just get your farm anyway, get your EXP. Once level 6 is up, the Void Spirit's a bit more threatening than Darkseer, just because of the steps.
Well, Jokam just about to die. Last Fire Spirit. Oh, it's going to be enough. I believe that was the last tick out from UK's Fire Spirit, but it just barely takes down Jokam. And now you've got a DK all by himself, so they're going to try and apply a bit more pressure. And Mizu, he's going to be just fine. He's got that level 2 Dragon's Blood, so they aren't going to go too far onto that Dragon Knight. So it is a 2-0 advantage so far to Army Geniuses.
Yeah, and their lanes are just going really well. And one benefit for GXR is that they're still finding farm IWD, but Paulson.
Yep. Arrows there, Paulson. He's going to try and run. Nice shards block. That should be enough. Wami, he's not going to go for the complete chase. Paulson just barely surviving. Otherwise, he may have been the third death for the team of GXR. And looking back at that CS board, look who's at the top. It's our boy Mamang Dire, who can really efficiently farm the side camps as the Darkseer. And I think this is the reason why Mamang Dire believes this is a mid hero. It's because you can farm the side camps so effectively. It's almost like a TA, but kind of better in some weird way.
Yeah, it's just super quick, doesn't need much investment, just needs some mana to clear out even stacks. Do you remember the time Vacuum used to drag creeps up to the cliff ward in
yes.
Radiant side? Those were fun days. Those were hilarious.
What do you do? You can't have everything, John. You know, Ice Frog, he has to remove it at some point. He has to get rid of that crap. Just like he's probably going to get rid of Darkseer in the meta in the next patch. Bot lane, Mizu. Trouble, but so is UK, and the Splinter Blast is going to be enough. Still, they will lose Jokam. DB, he really wants that added kill, and he should get it. They have the Wraithfire Blast. DB, not going to throw it out. I mean, there was stick charges and he already used that critical strike, so he didn't really have enough damage, I don't think, anyway. It would have been very close.
Yeah, a bit of mercy from DB. I mean, he's still getting everything from this lane. 33 to 1, 1 kill under his belt, 1 assist. Having a great time there. Some activity mid. They have dragged LYM out. You see Paulson just sniping out some bounty runes and has the haste as well, but Wami does spot him out.
Snowball, he's still got the haste rune, but the arrow's gonna land, and that might just be enough damage. Paulson, stick charges, but they've got the attacks now. LYM, he'll play no games with the task kill. Make sure they get him down. And now they start to look to In Your Dream. Like, how can we deal with this Luna? Can we find a burrow strike into an arrow on him? Bottom lane, Jokam is indeed gonna die again, so there's another death on the Wyvern. Top lane, In Your Dream, turns out he's going to be perfectly fine. They went for a burrow strike, but it meant nothing.
Yeah, and for In Your Dream, he's in a pretty good spot on that Luna. Again, despite the aggression, he's had space to farm, has the Mask of Madness up. He just needs the jungle to dip into. There's a couple of stacks on those camps, so he has some great recovery farm. LYM is going to scout out now, though. Should be able to at least get the ward forward and maybe drag his teammates down to clear it out. Remember, with the Darkseer, Iron Shell clears those camps fast.
Oh, it does, John. Wami in danger. Snowball actually going to connect, and they got the Shard's Dust down. Lacrity, his rotation does end up working out for him. However, LYM, he has scattered out those stacks in the jungle. The Iron Shell, it's kind of like you pointed out. LYM, he's literally just going to go in with the Iron Shell now. And they don't even wake up.
They don't wake up.
Oh, because the Darkseer is not within the range. They don't wake up.
Oh,
wait a minute. That's
beautiful.
a bit game-breaking, Mr. Ice Frog.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh my goodness.
They've got to be... I believe Darkseer has to be within 500 range to wake up the camp. Because it's his Iron Shell.
That's a beautiful interaction.
Oh,
Dota 2 is a very beautiful game. That's one less stack for In Your Dream, man. Like,
Alright.
he has the mom. He wants it.
For every viewer out there, enjoy the MMR. I mean, you've got to... in this meta, I mean, I'm going to be running this from now on. If I didn't know that. We'll go for a duo queue, John. Just get that free MMR going. You can be the Mirana. I'll be the mid-Darkseer.
Oh, goodness. UK being chased down.
Dire's top tower.
That he is. UK is going to drop. They get the Phoenix kill. DB still having a great old time regardless.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Still, the
attack.
problem is In Your Dream is farming a bit too well. Like, even if they applied the pressure, even if you've got that Darkseer at the top of the net worth board, it is still a
Radiant's
Luna
bottom
you're
tower
against.
is under attack.
In Your Dream, he is known to farm very quickly.
Yeah, and he's just working this jungle well. Manages to clear out that one camp before it's contested. He still has the Ancients. And it's not a massive stack. Even the large camp's not that big. But the farm is coming true. DB does TP up top, looking for the tier 1 trade as Mizu commits down bot. Should be able to get this trade done fairly evenly. It's a bit quicker down bot. The dragon form, but skeletal summon should ensure that the top will fall as well. And that should open up the access to that top jungle. It's a timely move for In Your Dream to just focus on the Ancients. And overall, I think as long as your Luna's farming like this, you're fine. Even Alacrity on his Void Spirit's not lagging too far behind. He is going for the Witchblade here. Not opting for the Yules that we tend to see for the self-setup. Just wants more damage, wants more stats and presence up front. And he's kind of allowed to do that. Like, it feels like AG might need more activity, saying that they are 5-3. Looks like they might just wait for Wami to finish up that blink before really going for bigger hunts.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, he is currently having a look around for a burrow strike. I mean, with the arrow, they can still pretty much secure any kill they want. Apart from maybe the
Radiant's
DK.
middle tower is under attack.
Looks like AG, they really want to find the stacks, though. Like, they've got so many ways of taking stacks with this Darkseer, with this Sand King. They just want to hit creeps right now. They want to make sure they're In Your Dreams creeps. Problem is, In Your Dream, he's in the triangle right now. He's not going to bother with that left side jungle. The rest of GXR, with the vision they have, are going to start roaming in. Probably not going to be able to find it to DB. He does have the reincarnation, but Wraithfire Blast going to be avoided. Alacrity will walk his way out. And AG, with this draft, I mean, this draft could be a bit of a ticking time bomb, right? Like, you're going to have the Ags up. Obviously, Darkseer with the wall is a bit of a counter towards the Luna. Because you're just going to turn the glaives right on the enemy team again. And again, these iron shells, John, they really hurt. He's level 11 already at 10.5 minutes. So he's getting 1 level per minute at the moment. It's not going to take long to get to those broken talons.
No, not too long at all. I think you have to also consider the VAC combinations. VAC, Burrow Strike is the big one. And we've seen all of these ground target stuns just play so well with the Darkseer. Lion, Nyx, great combinations. Sand King as well. So I don't think AG minds kind of taking the back seat here. As long as Mamangdai is still in the lead, they're forcing movement across the map, but nothing's lining up for GXR. For GXR's part, they are reaching some nice spikes as well. Mizu, looks like his blink is not too far off. Might opt for the BKB first, depending on how he feels the game is going. And once you have either item on the DK, you have your way of initiating. Still AG, just scouting around. They do have the Moonlight Shadow. They could catch Joe Cam up top.
We're going to try. Joe Cam, he's already died 3 times this game, and we might just have to make it a 4th. Poor old Joe Cam just can't catch a break. I suppose it's only fair, John. He is playing Winter Wyvern. Everyone hates that hero right now. Apparently AG really hate that hero. They will take him out a 4th time.
Yeah, it's great kill for the Sand King, as that does give the blink. So Wami's got his initiation tool now. They're still keeping that presence up top, but they are under vision. The forward wards from GXR are protected.
Alacrity, Aether Remnant, not going to connect. Had it connected, would have been a guaranteed kill there for Alacrity with that DD rune, but not quite. Things still going very well for AG. GXR, they've got their own game plan naturally. They've got a Luna. So, you know, you just got to keep the farm up, trust in your dream to be able to pull through the carry, but there's the timing, John. Here it is. Aghanim Scepter on Mamangdaya. Let the fun begin.
Jeez, that's real quick. 13 minutes in with the full Ags. You just run up with your Wraith King with Iron Shell. Imagine if he has the Radiance as well. That's a lot of burn damage in the AoE. You do not want to fight into this tanky hero up front.
Absolutely not. Jump in, DB, he's going to be targeted. Alacrity, just going to jump right back out. DB, he didn't even flinch. No problem. What damage?
He's too tanky. He doesn't even toggle the armlet to dodge some damage. And AG, they're smoked up here. They've got the egg ready.
Oh, they're going to jump in. Nice Sparrow Strike, Wami. And now the egg right on top of the snowball is going to buy some time. But the vac wall is there. In your dream, he just melts. Alacrity, he's going to try and run. He will probably make it out. They just blew. Oh, never mind, Wami. He goes deep. Real deep. And he finds Alacrity on that void spirit.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
This is,
Army geniuses.
yeah. They're a team you just can't count out. They're aggressive play if you don't manage to counteract it. Their coordination's really good. These guys have played with each other for so long. They've had a lot of experience in the background of the pro scene, maybe relegated to tier 3, tier 2 for a long time, but ever since DPC, they've managed to get more presence with these bigger teams, and throughout the year, they really have improved. GXR can't afford to just sit back and stream in one by one to these fights. Paulson.
Yeah, Barrow Strike there. They've got the Tusk. Jeez, Paulson goes down. Complete domination thus far from AG. There is going to be a bit of a rotation now. GXR going to try and punish LYM. He does manage to leap. Moonlight Shadow out, but it's not going to be enough. But he does at least get themselves some form of a trade.
IYD.
Now, rather DB's going to jump in. Onto Joe Cam. Very confidently by himself. Now Wami will join and they just get the kill. And would you believe it, John? Mamangdaya gets the kill as Alacrity now is apparently stuck.
Awkward spot. He will have a step up, and they don't think to check the tree line. So he is protected. A random stun from Wami would be big here if he just felt like it. Do you chop a tree? Do you just randomly stun in?
Oh, where does Alacrity go? Like, just leave him there. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna step out? UK just walks past. Smells something weird. Something's around here. UK? Throw a Fire Spirit in the tree line, UK. Just do it for fun.
Alacrity. He has 2 step charges now, so you can just kind of bail out, but this is a lot of time where he's literally not doing anything. The rest of AG are just able to pressure that tier 2. He could wrap around through the back in this team fight defense. That might be the game plan here.
T2 top tower. We're gonna drop Mizu. He just brought his BKB up. DB just gonna blink right away as the dragon form is popped, and now you'll find Alacrity. He'll just step his way back towards his own tier 2 tower. Wami, Epicenter. Does have it available. Deep wards as well. Just really making sure they can watch this tree line. It's now Mizu. He hasn't got the BKB off yet. They'll make the jump in, and there's your arrow. Winter's Curse will not be enough. They have the Sun Ray. Maybe they could kill Wami, and they will. They got the Sand King, but now the Egg's down. DB, he's going to rush forward. Onto Jocam. Shards not going to help out. They push him out. Polison's still going to try, along with Alacrity. They've killed off UK, but they've lost Jocam. DB, he still has both lives up. It might just keep going, and does. On a Polison, they'll find another. A double kill now for DB as the Iron Shells. They get started. An arrow connected onto In Your Dream. He just melts. 15-7, 2k net worth lead. The way of Army Geniuses. GXR, they're yet to find their own momentum here.
No, they're just losing a lot of ground. The buyback being forced out in Paulson is pretty big as well. That's going to stall out his progression on that Tusk. He's nowhere near Blink, and he's not even queuing it up. He's just forced to constantly buy the dust, buy the sentries, the smokes. No resources for anything else yet streaming into our Tusk. And the buyback's going to set him back. I'm looking at DB. He is going for the Radiance. So Iron Shell plus Radiance. Man, you do not want to deal with a Wraith King. Like, there's just nothing to stop this.
Yep, Mamang Daya about to hit level 15 as well. You're going to go for the plus 25% Wall of Replica illusion damage because you're up against the Luna. And, you know, it's just kind of busted that you get plus 25%. You don't need the vacuum AoE. Quite frankly, you just don't need it, you know. And then level 20 comes around. Now, do you want the minus 30-second cooldown on Wall of Replica? Because it is valuable against the Luna. Or you could go for the plus 60 Iron Shell damage, which is, you know, makes it 150 damage per second. 2 charges, by the way, so theoretically 300 damage, assuming you have 2 heroes around. But you can get 3 charges out. So you can have 450 damage per second on somebody. You can. I've tested it, John.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a ton. I think the long play is Wall of Replica cooldown, just because 30 seconds is a massive amount to take off. Like, that's 30% of your CD. Way more than any CD or item can give you on the Darkseer. So it gives you more uptime for the fights, allows you to just constantly commit even on a single hero, and I think that's what enables, especially how Mamang Dai has been playing it. I think he has leaned towards the cooldown. I don't think damage will be an issue at that point. Like, the Wraith King, the burn coming out with the Radiance is going to be enough with the Iron Shell, and then you're going to have his right-click damage skyrockets. I'm disappointed now. DB switches out the Radiance for the AC instead. And he has the Sanj up, so no fun here, no ultra burn game, but
We jump in, Mizu. He's a Davion, he's a DK, he's gonna be alright. Pops a dragon form, in fact. Because he just wants to kind of clear out the creep wave so they can't go for that tier 2 top tower push. But the cavalry is coming in from AG. DB, he has, well, that's a nice blink right onto Mizu. Right on target, but his team's not close enough to really capitalize on that. There's a DD rune at the top rune spot. Scouted out by Mamang Daya. Of course, he doesn't need it himself. But he will save it for DB, who might just go for a Roshan now.
Yeah, that's going to be big. Once you take the Rosh, potentially 3 lives in Wraith King. And DB, I think we've seen AG do that before, where they just toss DB up, go back, reset, toss him back up, bait it out, because they've got such big safety nets, and just slowly whittle away at an objective. GXR has to watch for that smoke out here.
Mizu gets caught. He's not as tanky with the Iron Shells on top of him. He's going to have to try and run and pop the BKB. Also, they're going to find Polison. Does get spotted. DB's right in. The shards is there, but he blocks himself in. He's trying to protect himself with the shards. He'll move back down towards Mamang Daya, but it doesn't get any better over there, so... But DB still gets the kill somehow. Towards the top lane, in your dream, arrow is going to connect. They found the Luna. Great map movement out from Army Geniuses, and now with this DD rune still active, it's right into the Roshan.
They're going to be able to clear this out, no problems. GXR could maybe play cheekily here, go for a Winter's Curse play, but they don't have the numbers to follow through. And I don't think they'll be able to take care of DB twice over. So first Roche going the way of AG. They've got the control up top as well. They've got the outpost. They've got the vision. They're still playing around. Wami's just actually hunting. He leaves his team. He wants to just clear out the wave. He could catch out Jokam. He's under a ward.
Yep. Jokam. Burrow strikes there. They had the vision. The arrow to follow up.
Arrow.
Yep. See you later, Jokam. GXR, they just can't find their footing. Like, it doesn't matter how much In Your Dreams farmed, because they've got so many counters. They can stun him forever. They've got better illusions than the Luna. Like, Mamang Daya just makes a better copy of you. And you can't do anything about it either. In fact, mid lane now, Mizu, he's forced the BKB TP. God forbid the egg exploded before his TP finished. And Wami will give UK the tip.
He did force out BKB use. I think that's actually worthwhile. It's down to 7 seconds now on Mizu. He's their big front line here on GXR. If they don't land the curse, then it all relies on the DK to get that jump initiation in. And every single time, he's just forced to use that BKB defensively. GXR, though, knowing Egg is down, they do smoke up. They might look to find an isolated hero here. Yeah, UK is under a ward. In fact, they were all under that ramp ward a bit, so you could look for a target.
Absolutely. GXR. Start moving up. Snowball is there. They found a very nice target in the Phoenix. He doesn't have egg anyway. UK, he's going to try and get away, but no. But In Your Dream. In Your Dream died to DB. So they got the Phoenix, but they lost their carry, and now Army Geniuses, they obviously just want to keep going.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop this. They've got the Aegis on DB. They can do the slow siege into the high ground. There is a blink up now on Mizu, so he can kind of blink initiate.
Burrow strikes there. DB, he's got the follow-up stun. Who needs an arrow anyway? Paulson, he'll go for a snowball. He'll buy some time, but DB's going to have his way with him. Alacrity, be very careful, sir. That is a very scary Wraith King and a very scary arrow coming in from LYM. They find Alacrity. They even found Mizu. The curse is there, though. They at least kill off Wami, but DB's not done yet. Chase down the BKB Dragon Knight. Does he want to dive tier 4s? He thought about it. He won't go all the way, though. Instead, it looks like they're going to go for that top tier 3 tower.
Yeah. They still have the mid-tier 2 being shoved in by the creep wave as well. They're going to go for all these objectives. Again, they've got Aegis on the Wraith King. He's probably not just... He's just not going to die.
Arrow comes in. It saves the day. DB, he's going to be fine to walk out. I suppose now you could just go back for the mid-tier 2 tower.
Yeah. They're just forcing all the movement out on GXR. And they can't find anything. They're just chipping away at the objectives. They're getting everything they could ask for. Another DD up for DB as well. So the next fight's going to be scary. AC almost done. He lacks the item slots now with the Aegis. So you might want to just expend that at some point.
Pretty soon, I think. I don't think you need to slow down if you're Army Geniuses. The way they're kind of choking out GXR is a very effective way of trying to win this game. In Your Dream, he's going to have BKB up soon. You definitely want to try and make the plays before he has that up. Mind you, it doesn't really seem to make a difference if you get that initial Wraithfire Blast or the Burrow Strike. So the arrow's always there from LYM to follow up, and you just can't... You can't do anything. Maybe you get a Cold Embrace, maybe you get a Snowball save, but that hasn't been the case throughout this game for all the times we've seen. Is DB now? He's onto the tier 2 bottom tower. He's just clearing out towers by himself. The rest of his team, they're going to smoke TP top, and I'm pretty sure they want the Luna.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh my gosh, yeah. In Your Dream just immediately backs off. I believe that entire movement was under a ward, so they knew. And they know that the Wraith King's alone, just that DB also manages to back off at the right time. So the Dragon form coming out here from Mizu is not going to line up for much. And just kind of juke each other out here.
GXR still having faith in their carry. However, DB just going to jump in. He has a double damage rune active with an Aegis up, but he is all by himself, and they are at least going to get through the first reincarnation life. Wami's coming in, though. A big epicenter and a burrow strike. He's caught 2 of them. There goes In Your Dream. They do get the Aegis, but to what cost? Can they turn? They've almost got the Phoenix. They'll take down Polison and UK. But DB's on the chase now. Mizu barely avoids the vacuum there from among Dire. Alacrity, he's going to find his own way out. He has no step for another 5 seconds. DB, he has the Wraithfire Blast, but Alacrity, he does have a step now. He'll barely get it off, but Wami is looking for the Burrow Strike and does get it into the arrow. In fact, Mizu, he's even been caught now. The wall's been dropped. He's just so slow running through that wall. He can't get out of it. DB, he cleans up Jokam as well. As they go on to Mizu and Davion, he's going to meet Darks here. Mamang Daya takes care of him. They completely team wipe them. That was DB jumping at him by himself for the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, he just mans up. He knows he can't die. They get the big kills. They manage to pop the Eclipse. They know there's no Winter's Curse, although it will be up on the respawn. But no Eclipse means In Your Dream can't really fight. He walks into the wall. Why?
Be careful this. Maybe he just wants to test his rival as Polison gonna get taken down. In Your Dream. He copped a lot of damage from his own illusion. the man in the mirror, you know, it's the one that hurts the most, John. It's that tier 3 tower. Goes down, DB, just running through the racks. Wami, he gets a Yule Scepter off onto Alacrity, but he's not gonna follow up. He just wanted to use him up. DB, he has that secondary life anyway. He's not too concerned as they do get a curse off, but it's only on 1. Mizu, there with the Dragon Tail. They're going to try and follow up. Egg is down. They're going to try and fight now. Vacuum is there. In Your Dream trying to man fight, but DB, he just hits way too hard, and now the Burrow Strike. Wami's in with a double. This might just be it. There's no buyback on In Your Dream. Epicenter's out. AG with these kind of drafts, man, they just... How do you play against this?
You can't.
You can't.
You just can't. DV, they just know how to play around Wraith King. They know how to play around the Darkseer. They have the combination with a Sand King on top, and they just get everything.
Yeah. They jump in. Maybe they get the first reincarnation life from DB, or maybe not. Luckily for the side of GXR, there is no creeps. So, AG, they're going to have to back off. Another DD rune!
Oh, God.
Are you kidding?
What did AG do to get such favorable runes every time? Maybe it's all the Atomic War they play, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Ice Frog is digging that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the CSGO players, John. Well, we've seen the effect that has. Alacrity, DB, he's manning up. This guy's a Giga Chad. He just wants any target he can get, and they all run. 5 heroes see a Wraith King, and they're just like, nope, not this guy.
He's just by himself.
He's just by
blinks
himself.
alone. His entire team's just like a blink distance away, but they only have that one blink, well, 2 blinks on the Sand King and the Darkseer. Now, Moonlight up. They get a good scan. Jokam.
Yep. Jokam is going to run the right way. Lines being drawn out towards the bot side. Oh, In Your Dream. Wami, that Iron Shot touched In Your Dream, but I don't think he realized. He didn't realize. He's going to try. Burrow strikes up. Wami trying to find the target. Oh, he gets it as well. There'll be no arrow, but they drop the wall. They'll get the Yules up. And In Your Dream, he can't do anything. Iron Shells, John. 450 damage per second. Polison, he's alright. Arrow, not going to land. He blinks away.
God.
450 damage, Don. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Completely balanced. Thank you for the gift, Ice Frog. The gift of Darkseer. Make sure to add those extra decimals in the vacuum. It's important. It's a big nerf if you change that up. Or a buff, depending on how people feel about the Darkseer.
Yeah.
AG, they've choked out the side of GXR. No more outer towers. There are good wards here from GXR watching at low ground. They can kind of get their defense off with a good curse. You just kind of need to see that opportunity. Roshan is up, but AG don't seem interested in getting more lives up in DB. He just runs up. He doesn't care. He's a big raid boss right now. And yeah, he's just going to push by himself as well. Just get the creeps down, plug the whittle away. We've seen AG do this before. They just do a non-committal push like this to force a response, and they just go back farming.
Sometimes I just like to watch Mamang die, John. Look at this. Look at these poor creeps. Not by creeps.
He's pretty much got the refresh up. So
Look at
double
this creeps,
vac,
John.
double wall, 4 iron shells. 4 iron shells.
Yep. 4 iron. Oh. No, wait,
Yeah,
he gets more than... No, he can... Theoretically, he can have 6, John. If he times it out right. He can have 6 on the map. But then you wouldn't... That would be very rare to have 6 of them. But it would be hilarious to have 900 DPS.
GXR, they were kind of running around towards the Roche. Don't really manage to find anyone. AG holding on to that 15k lead in your dream, still lagging behind by 5k, one big item up on the Wraith King that the Luna will not be able to match up against. And they'll just go for Roshan. It's been left alone long enough. Time to get that Ag Shard, cheese, third life up for DB. Just give the Ag Shard towards Mamang Daya. Just give us the normal punch here. They've got something to go through BKB. I want to see that.
Oh, these
Smoke
amateurs,
up.
John. They're not grouping around the Roshan with the iron shells. Oh, DB! DB's jumped in again! He's daring them! You want to fight in the Roshan pit? Fight me outside of it! Catch me outside, how about that, says DB. They do not want to catch him outside, apparently. Paulison is going to try and run. Meanwhile, Vacuum, Joe Cam, he's on the cliff now. Meanwhile, Mamang Daya apparently finds Paulison. Mizu is just walking so slow, and the arrow right across the wall. A double kill for Mamang Daya. Meanwhile, DB, he kills off Alacrity. GG, they have had no more.
Yep.
I've had enough of watching this game. This game's over.
Oh god. Army geniuses laying onto what looked like one of the stronger teams coming into the groups. GXR, they went off to a 2-0 series win. It doesn't come out here this time around. Army geniuses just managing to get that Wraith King for themselves and the mid Dark Seer for Mamang Daya. How do you stop that? Like, what do you do now if you're GXR? Do you ban out the Sand King and the Dark Seer, giving out the Timber Saw? Yeah, but then you give out the Kunkka, the Timber Saw, you give out the TA. There's only so many bans you can do.
What are you gonna do though? Did you just see what just happened? It's ridiculous. They took stacks without taking any damage. They took the enemy stacks, right? He iron shot his Mirana and said, go to their jungle, find their neutral camps, and just stand there. And I'll get the gold, you get the XP. It's a 50-50 split. It's fantastic. And which is why I'm going to run in the pubs tomorrow, John. We'll be on Duo Q on stream tomorrow, hopefully getting that free MMR. So we are going to head off to a short break, and run after that break, we're going to be back with Game 2 between GXR and Army Geniuses, and we'll see what changes up. We'll see what kind of wacky drafts come out here from Army Geniuses. Till then, we'll see you again very soon.